All right, welcome back, folks. So today I'm going to go over a lab idea that we're going to put in place over the next few videos. So we're looking at, and really my end state goal here is to be able to run some red team type of attack simulation on the tenant and kind of see where we can find gaps in the security tools. So as far as what I've come up with, we have a local Hyper-V instance, so that's running on my local machine. And I'll zoom in here a little bit. A small lab, so three virtual machines, domain controller, and the app server both joined are onboarded as Azure Arc with Defender for Cloud running. The client will be just a Windows 11 Enterprise client with Defender for Endpoint. We're also going to go through configurations of all the Defender products that are running and all the security type stuff and try to automate as much as possible. Sure, there will be some that I won't be able to automate, but all right. So for as far as Azure resources go, I happen to have 3 subscriptions. So this is my hub subscription. This is Lab Blue is what I'm calling it. So that's all blue team stuff. And then down here in this corner is what I call the red team stuff. So we'll have in the red team a MITRE Caldera container, Kali Linux VM, and we'll see what else we can find to throw in there that we can do some attack simulation with. If you have any ideas, feel free to say them. Those are just 2 that kind of popped in my mind immediately. So this operates in a hub and spoke. So the hub here is peered with the other 2 VNets. I have a VPN gateway set up in the hub, which is how the local computers get access to this tenant, these resources. So I don't have any public IP addresses on anything. The traffic inside of Azure is local, and the only traffic from the outside, quote unquote, traverses the VPN, which is authenticated via Entra ID. So in the hub, we'll have a couple container apps with a file share. I added this Bastion VNet down here. If you wanted to use a Bastion host instead of the VPN gateway, you certainly could do that. And maybe I'll just include the code just in case. I prefer the VPN gateway method over Bastion, just personal preference. So the hub will be protected by Defender for Cloud. I'll also have a login Linux workspace and Sentinel, and we'll go through all of those configurations as we get there. Another spare VNet if you wanted to add something else. Okay, on the blue side, so we're going to treat this as like a remote office and configure this to the best of my ability in accordance with like zero trust pillars architecture. So we have a domain controller here, 1 client, and 1 app server. And we'll basically try to run attack scenarios from the red side to as much of this infrastructure as possible. And like I said, see where we can find gaps. All the domain controllers, this one here and the one, what I'm calling on-prem, will both have Defender for Identity running and onboarded. And again, we'll go through all that configuration. I think that's it. So we'll see how far we can get. Like I said, I'm going to automate as much of this as possible. I suspect there's probably things that I won't be able to automate, but we'll kind of cross that bridge when we get there. All right. Well, thanks for listening to that spiel. I hope you're looking forward to the next series of videos where we will build all this stuff and run some attack simulations on it. So thanks for watching.